What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and it's Chaos Theories. I don't
Yo,
know.
man, I'm sitting in for chaos. It's an FPS shift stain. What's up, y'all?
You about to make shit pop?
What it is? We about to drop turds up in this bitch.
Dropping turds, a little dopey stain.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. That was just a funny joke that we
little
had before
butt
we started. But did you say butt queef?
Butt queef.
Ugh, that's gross.
A FPS shit stain. Have you ever had to take a shit and you didn't want to get up and it kind of like smushed in between your ass cheeks?
Hell yeah, I'm making patties, son.
Making patties. do the underwear crayon.
Hell yeah. The underwear crayon.
Oh, man.
So our topic is
The end of the world.
Yes.
It is December 22nd of 2012. It is, again, another lapse where we're not supposed to be here for like the 2000th time in human history.
We made it, bitches.
Again.
Again.
We had one last year, too, May 21st of 2011. They had a motherfucker wrote out in science, like in hieroglyphics, you know, this is the Noah's Ark, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. The man what that happened is that man raised $32 million off of donations for the end of the world and bounced with it.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
I would do that.
It's like the Heaven's Gate shit. Remember Heaven's Gate? We just talked about it on Pico already last night.
Is that the one where they had the sneakers?
Yeah, the sneakers.
And they wanted to ride the fucking comet, right?
Yeah, the Hale-Bopp comet. Which was founded in 95, and by 97, an old man to convince like 20 people, like, yep, aliens are behind the Hale-Bopp comet. They're coming for us. We're going to heaven.
Yeah. Yep. See you later. Yeah, that's crazy. All those cults are nuts. But yeah, everybody's got an end of the world scenario. But yeah, this was the big one. I mean, shit, we just had a big movie last year. The whole 2012 movie, yeah. 2012, right?
2012 with John Cusack and shit.
I haven't even seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet?
No,
I think it's about polar shifting.
Oh, is that what it is? The pole shift?
Which is actually
true. It does happen. The thing is, it doesn't happen in, 2 weeks. Like I think the movie's premise was, it happens so quickly that the Earth just goes fucking...
It doesn't happen quick at all. There's nothing quick that happens with the Earth in the span of a human life. But most people don't know is the Earth is on what you call a continual wobble. Like it wobbles around. That's why we have eras, and like different eras is based off the chart of the zodiac. Like this is the Pisces era. The next one's the Age of Aquarius.
Age of Aquarius.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But it takes almost 2,000 years for the Earth to wobble into another constellation. Just imagine how long it would take the fucking Earth to flip itself upside down.
Planetary dubstep. Whoa, 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 whoa,
the planetary dubstep.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Dude, how much is that Black Ops? Yeah. Yo, man, they're in the dubstep room. Kill him. Okay, so let's talk about this first one here, the Mayan long count calendar. So I'm going to say this just to start it off because I haven't really heard many people use this analogy, and I'm not sure why. I know I'm not going to be the first person to say it, but look at it this way. It's a fucking odometer. Mm-hmm. Done. If I had a mic, I would drop it right now, but I'm not dropping my Yeti on the floor. But that's all I had to say. Odometer.
You know what I do when my calendar ends? I throw it in the trash.
You do? I keep all of them. No, I'm just kidding. I throw them out too.
I mean, I got one I got to throw away here in about another 10 days.
That's right. We have one upstairs that's like a big whiteboard. But come on. It's like, and I've heard you say it before, like they didn't have the wheel and stuff like that. I mean, they clearly as a culture had a great deal of astrological.
Because that was the entertainment, just like we clearly have a lot of fucking iPhones.
Yeah, they knew. You're right. They knew a lot about the position of the stars and all that stuff. And on some level, you're right. Like there wasn't a whole hell of a lot else to study that was tangible. They didn't really have instruments. They didn't have technology to create scientific instruments or anything so
they didn't have street lights either.
They didn't have shit, dude. They had cocoa beans and you know.
You have motherfuckers sitting around in the grass like, it's dark as shit. We can't go walking in the woods.
Yeah.
Where's the light source at?
Or the fucking chupacabra will come get you. But
yeah, the chupacabra.
Do not say the name. But yeah, anyway, so the fucking calendar just flips over. It's like, but people are always, trying to make up, bullshit stories to scare people and stuff. But this one has been, taken seriously for a long time. I mean, I'm 37 years old, and I've been hearing about this one for, at least 25 years of my life. It was, 2012, it's coming, and, I think we can check that one off the list, but it's not going to be the last one, like you said. There's scores more doomsday scenarios out there, and there's going to be another one and another one and another one. But I mean, what do you think? I think
I told you before. I think that man is conceited in itself, just like you have the Jewish people with the black stone, which is obviously a meteorite. You have people talking about we're going to nuke ourselves out of existence, the end of all ideas, the end of time. And I want to say this. Using the term the end of time is fucking stupid. Because you can't end time. Because time is pretty much an idea. And even if time was like a an actual object, destroying Earth would not stop it because everything else would keep on going.
Right, you have to destroy the vessel which contains the time, right? Which would be the universe. So unless you destroy the whole entire universe, then there cannot be the end of all time. But again, you're right. I mean, all that is an expression of the conceited nature of humanity, where we feel like the entire universe revolves around us and our time here. I mean, if there's anyone who thinks that humans aren't going to go, become extinct, no matter what we do, whether or not
full of shit.
Right. Even if we leave planet Earth and we start species do not last forever. I mean, there's still a couple prehistoric organisms on Earth, like horseshoe crabs are fucking really, really old organisms, but eventually they'll die out too. Everybody gets their turn.
I'm not going to give you a solid fact here, but I read somewhere it's like something like 98% of every animal species that's walked on Earth has died off.
Of course, that's the cycle of life. So life begins, life ends, and that isn't species are not immune to that cycle.
I think if we blow a hole in the ozone layer the size to drive a fucking planet Mars through, and we kill everything on this planet off, it will heal itself.
Well, yeah, the way I've always said is don't worry about, and I don't want to give the wrong idea here, but when I say that, like, recycling plastic bags and bottles is a futile effort, I only mean that in respect to people think it's going to somehow save the Earth. It is not going to save the Earth. The Earth doesn't care about plastic because, again, people talk about, well, it'll be here for thousands of years if we don't do something with it. You think the Earth cares? The Earth is billions of years old. What's a 1,000 years is a shit stain on the endless toilet paper that is the life cycle of planet Earth. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Earth's 4 billion years old. Humans are what, 200,000?
Right. So a plastic bottle takes 10,000 years to biodegrade. Who cares? We do. It's more about us having a clean place. Now we do not have the power to destroy the Earth. I mean, if we launched every nuke we have, and even if we, tilted the Earth's axis by, half a degree for a while or something like that, it would eventually be corrected by, the gravity, various bodies in the universe or whatever. It would eventually align and get back to normal. And you're right, life would come back again. Mm-hmm. We don't have the ability to destroy this planet. It's very, very self-centered view to think that. It just means we're going to be gone, which is going to happen anyway. And, everything will be gone eventually. Every building we've ever built, every monument, it will all decay, crumble, be buried, wiped clean, no matter what we do.
I always love those movies where you get to see, like, New York City after it's been fucking left for 100 or so years.
Yeah, what was it? I Am Legend? Did you see that?
Yeah,
that was kind of cool because it was, it showed, like, just the vegetation just punching through
the earth, taking it back.
And I actually saw this really good, it was on, I think it was Discovery Channel, or might have been History Channel. It was a series a couple of years ago called Life After People. And it basically, documented what scientists believe would happen, 5 days after people if everyone on Earth just randomly just was gone. What would happen from, day 1 to day 3 all the way up to 10,000 years. And it was really, really interesting to watch. I thought one of the most interesting parts of it was what happens, in like a week or two. Things like nuclear power plants that are now unmanned, like what happens to those when they all go into meltdown at the same time. Stuff like that, pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, end of the world is really just the end of humanity. There is no end of the world until the sun goes supernova and swallows the Earth.
The sun's too small to supernova.
What?
The sun was scientifically the sun is too small to supernova.
Yeah, right. No, you're right. I don't think it's supposed to blow up, but it will turn into a red giant and swallow the Earth.
It will change the atmosphere of the Earth. It won't destroy it.
Was supposed to swallow it, I believe.
The red giants don't get that big. What it will do is it'll make the Earth too hot for humans to live on. It'd swallow something like Mercury, yes, but Venus would probably still be okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not positive on it. I thought it was going to get big enough to.
But it'd be a big enough change for we're fucked, we're cooked.
Well, shit. I mean, if it got big enough to swallow Mercury and get close to Venus, yeah. I mean, that kind of heat would just be a burning rock in the sky.
The fact is, we'll be dead before that happens because.
Oh man, that's billions of years away. It's only like halfway dead, isn't it?
But, yeah, it's not even halfway dead. But like I think it turns into a white dwarf first before it turns into a red giant.
No,
because the hydrogen goes off into the sun and like shrinks, and then like something happens and it blows up.
No, you get the expansion first, right? So I think it's when the sun runs out of helium, or I don't know. I don't want to get into this because people are,
We're not scientific. Right, we're not scientists on the sun. We're talking about shit from like high school.
Actually, I think it creates helium, so I think I'm wrong. But I think when it runs out of fuel, it will expand. Okay. And then when it collapses, that's when it becomes too dense for its own weight, and whoosh, that's when it shrinks down to be a dwarf, and then it's this really dense.
Really big stars like Sirius B and stuff, once they collapse, their energy gets so strong at one point, then it supernovas and releases all the energy, which is the idea behind the Big Bang. You have all these elements compressed in a single point, almost the size of a pin. And it just goes pop.
Yeah, that's a big boom too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see a movie that replicated the Big Bang. That would be pretty cool to watch.
The other thing out there is, and this could be a potential, end life as we know it very, very quickly and unexpectedly. Is what you're just talking about made me think of it. There's when a supernova happens. What you get is there's like a flat plane, right? This is where the star collapses on itself, and you get two jets of energy, one coming out of the top and one coming out of the bottom. If that jet is facing, and there's billions of stars, so the odds are there that it could happen. These things shoot gamma rays and X-rays like so far across the universe and would just fry anything in their path. That's actually a potential, Earth killer, where it would just completely zap everything on Earth. If one of these stars somewhere in the universe decided to go supernova, and the jets of energy that blast out from the poles, if one of them actually lined up with Earth, I mean, we'd all be completely cooked like instantly.
We could reflect that. We'd probably see it coming.
You think we'd see it coming?
Yeah, I mean, they're traveling fast, but the fact is, it take it probably, I don't know, 50 years before it actually got here.
How would you deflect that?
Mirrors, gold. Same way as we deflect gamma radiation in real life.
So you think that we'd have enough time to see it coming and then figure out how to get giant mirrors built in space to block it?
We started to go to the moon, in the 60s, and by the 70s we were there?
Yeah, why haven't we done anything since, though?
Because we haven't put the money toward it. There was no reason. Preserving life would be a reason.
I don't think they would be able to get enough. Dude, people don't believe scientists when they say anything anymore. Like, bullshit. Prove it. I don't think they'd do it. I think they would say, nah, we can't justify this on a hunch. We don't have enough definitive proof to get, because what you're talking about, you'd have to pool the entire world's resources. You'd have to unify humanity. I think that this is the problem with humanity. We're so fucking stupid. I think that even if scientists had definitive proof this was going to happen, we couldn't stop fucking bickering long enough to actually agree and do something about it. I think we
just talked about this in Black Ops when we were playing. Nobody believes they're losers. Everybody's a winner. I'm on the dashboard because I lost because of something else. Yeah, Same thing with America. Everybody believes that their country is the best. That's why nobody gets along.
And never mind just the country, but the global community. Are you fucking kidding me? You'd have to get everybody to work together? Like, no fucking way. And there's nobody would profit. That's the other problem is. I don't even think staying alive is enough to motivate people anymore. They got to make money while they're alive. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to pay me for it? I'm not doing this for nothing.
Yeah.
Show me some fucking cash money and you'll get some action.
I'm guaranteed there'll be plenty of volunteers ready to save the world.
I don't think we could do it in time. But anyway, that was just a possible scenario for doomsday. But what else is there? What are the other? What's left? Is there anything that haven't happened yet? I mean, obviously there's
the ice shelves falling into the ocean.
Well, that is happening.
That's happening. That's during climate change. But
glacial retreat is already
if a huge chunk of the ice shelves fell into the ocean, you'd lose a large section of land right now because the levels of the ocean would rise and take the land over. Places like New York and like where I live in South Carolina all be underwater.
Well, that is going to happen.
And then the human race as itself, we're already a much larger species than we should be.
Yep.
We'd be clumped toward the middle of the continents, and there would be lack of food. There'd be lack of climate change. Blah 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 blah. It'd be like a civil war all over again.
Well, that's it. That's how it's going to go down. I mean, what you're talking about right there is what I was going to say is here, you want doomsday, I'll give it to you because it's actually not even guessing. It's all in motion now. It's in motion. I mean, I think we've got about...
The best case scenario there is if those ice shelves create a tsunami that take out everybody on the east coast on the coast of everything. If they just straight kill them off, that would be the best scenario to keep humanity alive. But if they don't, and people start, heading inland to try to get out of the water, there's not enough land for humans. So
it's going to be gradual, but it isn't just going to. It's going to be global. I mean, it's going to be everywhere. I mean, it's already happening where the glaciers are retreating and melting, and the temperature of the water's going up, and it's forced.
What can we do for that? Not a goddamn thing.
Nothing.
Displace water. Massive amounts of it.
Yeah, it's already too late to stop it. It's already. One of the problems you have is up in the Arctic. You have actually a more potent greenhouse gas in methane, which is trapped under the tundra, which has been covered by glacial ice for forever,
millions of years.
So that's all actually now that the glaciers are melting, it's uncovering this tundra. And which is releasing methane. And methane, I think, is something on the order of 10 to 20 times more potent a greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide is. So it's called a feedback loop, right? The more the glaciers melt, the more the tundra is exposed, the more methane is released, which causes the glaciers to melt even faster, and blah, blah, blah. It just spirals out of control. So I think it's like 70 to 100 years. What you're talking about is actually going to happen. So think about humanity. What have we done as a species to thrive? We've built all of our major cities near water.
Well, humans have to be near water.
Right. Well, it's for everything, right? I mean, water. We use water for transportation to move things. We use it for fishing, so to eat. We need to be near water. So think of all the major cities like. Any continent you want to pick. I mean, Europe is, plenty of them are London gone, Tokyo gone, Sydney gone, New York gone,
The whole island of England will probably be gone.
Oh, yeah. Britain will be, I mean, I think most of Florida will be gone.
California, basically like Nebraska, Wyoming, Missouri, those kind of states will be left.
Well, what's another thing too is and you were talking about what happens is now there's less land less resources. So people are crowded together and fighting for not enough resources, and which is just going to make humanity wipe itself out. But one of the big catalysts for that is going to take place in Asia, where I think pretty much all of the glaciers, like the Himalayas and stuff, those all feed the rivers that provide drinking water for India. And as you know, India there's a big chunk of the world population is in India. When those the Ganges, when those rivers dry up, you're talking about billion people without water.
Fresh water is going to be rare.
Yeah,
rare.
Well, it's not going to be about oil. It's going to be about fresh water. That's going to be the new oil in the next century, is because the fossil fuels are going to run out, and everybody knows it and stuff. But clean water is way more valuable than oil, and it's going to become in pretty short supply here. So I think that's the likely doomsday scenario. And you don't have to look at a crazy book to get it. You don't have to put sneakers on and ride fucking comets to get there. It's unfortunately kind of already happening.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No, just enjoy your.
What we're gonna do? Put air conditioners all on the Arctic shelves?
Wave blankets, yeah, just blow.
It's just it's the way life is. Basically, the Earth's gonna wipe itself clean, and then it's about 2 or 3, 20,000 years later, life's gonna pop back up on it.
Yeah, well, the Earth has this itch.
Because this happened before already.
The Earth goes through cycles. We could do this in another video. I think that it is cyclical, but I think that we have a lot to do with what's happening. But yeah, species have been wiped out. Entire species have been wiped out before by climate change, and you either adapt and survive or you die off. The problem with humanity is we've become so reliant on our technology to survive that we do not have survival skills anymore. So if the technology gets taken away from us in a scenario like this, then we just don't have what it takes. Of course, not everyone's going to die. The rich people will, see it coming. They'll start building cities underground. There will be people who will live on. And it's just unfortunately going to be kind of related to your income and your influence to whether or not you make it onto
how important you are.
Yeah, and there's going to be sort of quote arcs, unquote, filled with people who can either buy their way on, or they have notoriety, and they're known for their intellect, their skills, their talents, things that are valuable to others, and they'll band together, and the affluent people will live on, but the rest of us are pretty much fucked. So enjoy your life, people, because
nobody listening to this video will ever be infected by what we just said.
No, this is going to be, the thing is, if you're 14 or 15, you're going to see shit start to get real in your, by the time you're in your 40s, and again 30 years from now, I think you're probably going to start to see the resource wars kind of happening a little bit, because the population that's another thing. You don't even have to talk about climate change, just the fact of our rate of procreation, we're sort of, that's kind of at critical mass on its own, isn't it, at this point?
Yeah, it is. The fact is you're going to ruin the soil. There's so many people eating so often, the soil will get ruined on Earth. Right,
and we don't have to, if we keep multiplying at the rate we are, we don't have enough resources on Earth to feed all these people. We're talking about the oceans. Now, one of the effects of climate change is the ecosystem in the ocean is going batshit. And so, and you add overfishing on top of that. There's just, fish are, I tell you this, in 30, 40 years, I went and got sushi tonight, right? Mm-hmm. It's my favorite food in the world, sushi. I could fucking just eat it until I died. You're not gonna, if 30 years from now, dude, I just spent shit. We got, a couple bottles of wine, whatever. We spent $200, okay? It was something we do twice a year. We do it for Christmas, and we do it for me and my wife go for our anniversary, right? We spend $200 on fucking really good sushi and get, have a couple drinks. it would cost fucking $1,000.
$2 of wine, a couple drinks, huh?
A couple drinks, some sushi, a couple $100, right? In 30 years, I mean, that's going to be like a $2,000 meal.
Yeah, I mean, well, shit, steak is going to be going up to almost $50 a steak.
All that, and it's like, but if it keeps going...
Because what's going to end up happening is right now we use corn to feed livestock, and the number of livestock that we feed, once the corn falls out, the livestock number is going to be cut in half. I mean, steaks are what, $9 a piece now?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to quickly jump to 18, and then when people stop falling out of the region, 18 goes to go up to 40.
Have you noticed milk? The fucking price on milk in the last 10 years?
It's higher than gas.
Dude, it's like fucking...
And we have unlimited supply of that shit.
It's like fucking $6 a gallon for milk now. It's like, it's out of control. So, yeah, I mean, that stuff's just going to keep going up and up and up and up because there's too many fucking people. So,
and that goes with the fiat currency system, and that goes with the republics revolting on themselves and all. I mean, like, it's a catch-22.
What do you mean? How?
The world is set up for you so you fail.
Well, yeah, I mean, the problem is we got too good at progress. Okay? Humans were not meant, I don't think, to get as good as we've gotten because, I mean, at the end of the day, we've figured out how to just keep staying alive longer and longer. The life expectancy goes up. And that is a big part of the problem. But we've figured out how to just insulate ourselves, and we live for, our babies survive, like the survival rate in nature. Think of how many mothers and children died during childbirth, say, in the Middle Ages, right?
How many died because surgeons didn't wash their hands?
Yeah, dude, it was probably like, I'm going to say, I don't even know. I'm going to guess and say that 1 in 3 kids didn't make it. Because of conditions, right?
Yeah, having a kid was a huge deal back then because you risked your life.
Exactly, right. And if
but you needed them to work the fields too.
And if there's anything at all wrong, I mean, you catch the flu, and you're probably going to die. So, survival rates for not only children but just humans in general back then were just so low. Now, like, I mean, it takes a lot to fucking kill a person. Because, hospitals and medicine and everything, we've gotten really good at keeping ourselves alive and really good at being comfy and feeding ourselves. And so there's way too many of us that we don't have the resources to keep going at this rate. But it's not like humanity's going to say, okay, I think, this is a good place to stop. Let's just coast here for a while and enjoy this.
And that's because people still are under the presumption that life is sacred.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's the sort of, you are, what was that line from Fight Club? You are not special. You are not a beautiful and unique snowflake.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're just another organism on this
walking, dancing, singing ball of light.
Yeah, it's in this little speck in the universe, and yeah, it's all very insignificant. But yeah, humanity's greatest gift is our drive and our ability to accomplish things. But it's also what's gotten us into this mess that we just can't get out of now because we've gotten too good at our own game. I mean, what's the solution? I mean, there is none, right? I mean, how can we get out of this mess? Can you think of any way that humanity can avoid all of this perfect storm of things coming together?
And stay intact and nobody die?
Well, right. I mean, how do you get out of it? I mean, leaving Earth isn't feasible. We're not anywhere near the timeline for, space travel and colonizing space or any planets is not within the time that we have before, we run out of resources to feed people or, the oceans rise far enough to, submerge coastal cities. It's just, we don't have enough time to do that. So what else could we do?
I'm not going to get into it because it's controversial.
I know what you do.
Disband religion?
Well, no, you throw down a shock charge, and right next to it, a Betty. You back yourself into a corner with a fucking FAL with select fire and target finder.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It sounds reasonable because there's going to be a lot of targets to find if you got a steak in your house.
I know, right? Dude, I fucking smell them Bacos, man. I know you got some Bacos in your cupboards. Yo, man, I need the Bacos. They don't go bad. You know what I mean? That shit lasts forever.
Oh, man. But end of the world, is it going to happen by some mythological being? Is it going to be predicted? Is it going to be from the astral heavens? Most likely not. What's going to happen is Earth is going to kill us itself.
It's going to shake us off like, ugh. What was that itch? Oh, there it goes. All set.
And maybe Earth wanted plastic. Now it's Earth plus plastic.
Thank you, plastic suckers! Right on, dude.
Alright, guys, that's Chaos Theories for this week. Mr. Chaos Math, you can find his channel in the description below. As always, leave a rating. It helps the channel tremendously. And leave a suggestion of what you'd like to see next week on Chaos Theories. Every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. Peace.
Later,